right. What up, fam? Welcome to C&C Pod. We got some of the usual suspects here. My man SDA checking in from parts unknown near the DC area. Am I supposed to say that? I'm probably not supposed to tell anybody where you are. But we all know where KingBrett is. He's in Dallas, Texas. Just got back from his honeymoon. And HT joining us, longtime legend, top shot guy. How's everybody doing on this beautiful day? Everybody good? How you doing, SDA? Talk to me.
Doing great. Excited to chat with HT. He's been in the C&C community since the very beginning. So first time getting to see him and chat with him live in person. So this is great. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, glad you're here, HT.
Yeah, thanks so much for the invite. Yeah, I remember seeing a tweet, I think, by Mr. Treat here. And I was like, who is this guy? And I was like, I think they're collecting for all the things that I like to collect.
That's right, baby.
Honestly, like, they could have no utility. I watch the moments, right? Like, I love basketball. So I thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Glad you're here. King, are you hydrated? Or how are you?
I honestly, so I'm not much of a drinker, but between an all-inclusive wedding and then a cruise that was also all-inclusive, essentially drink package, I'm just happy to not have an alcoholic beverage right now. I've been drinking water and Gatorade, and I've also lost 10 pounds in the last, 8 hours of not eating all you can eat.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of a transition, but I'm super pumped to be back, especially with SDA Treat and Sir Hemlock. I'm pumped. You're rocking the shirt, bro.
Shirt brothers. Shirt brothers.
I love it. So just happy to be here. Happy to talk Top Shot, some ball playoffs.
Well, I'm glad you're giving your liver a break. That's always good. And look at that.
Some jewelry.
Look at that bling. Look at that
you didn't lose it on the trip playing with it, spinning it on the table?
No. Pretty sure in Mexico and all the places we were, my hand swelled from all the food and alcohol. So no way it was coming off.
It's never coming off again.
Wait a minute. Did you just talk about swelling in your honeymoon?
I did. But
hey, I'm not going to be able to be on this show anymore if you don't stop that.
H, you can't laugh because if you start laughing, then we can't control ourselves.
I mean, I'm the mayor now. People dig this stuff up, use it against me in the next election.
I said, God bless America and all of Europe and everyone alive. We have a lot of European listeners, so I didn't mean to count you out there.
Very politically correct answer there. All right, hey HT, tell us about you've been around a while. Tell us about your Top Shot journey. Love the focus on collecting and the NBA. Give us some background.
Yeah, so Buddy's younger brother, right? That's how you hear about anything. Like, that's cool, right? So he said, you got to check out this Top Shot. So me and a couple of my good friends from high school, we got a group chat. So I was like, I saw some tweets on that. So I checked it out, and it was like perfect or the worst timing, however you want to look at it, with the pandemic, right? So you're like, I'm in my basement. I loved collecting cards as a kid, basketball particularly. And, you fall out of doing that. I don't know, right? You get the Beckett every month, and then you're like, I'm going to make money on this. And then you go to the card shop after a while. And then, so I had the card owners, I'm not going to give you any money for that. Whatever it might be, you find girls, you start partying, whatever. I got out of collecting, saw this, I was hooked. And I should back up. It was February of 21. It was like right when this was going gangbusters, right? So it was really fun. I found it, was hooked immediately, and the prices were insane. It, as we all know, that the story.
They were.
And I don't know. I had some good luck, to be honest. It was a total luck, and it's basically kind of like funded me since. So I'm like, I'm probably losing money, but like I just love it. I don't really care.
Yeah.
And I've honestly.
So you were smart and took profit?
I know he's talking, and I'm like, what are those words mean? Funded? How do you get funded?
I reinvested it all into the back end. Don't tell my wife.
The circle of trust on the interwebs.
Yeah, she'll never see this, right, guys? Okay.
No.
But I look at it like collecting basketball cards in space. And I got to give credit to Rick Kamala. That was his tweet. And I used to love Rick Kamala on NBA TV. Yeah. I mean, I'm just enjoying it. I think season 5's getting, or 22, 23 is getting even better. So, or 23, 24.
So how much would you say your journey is shaped by you actually getting to be a fan of a good team?
So I know Bucks Top Shot, that community is great, by the way, the Cream City Collectors. I've known guys that were like, I didn't even like basketball, but I caught on with the Bucks winning and collecting the 21 playoff set.
Nice.
And like, they weren't like big NBA fans. Like, I got back into it because of Top Shot. And so it does make it easier. I am thankful for that. And I will say SDA, I've been a fan since like 1989. I'm not kidding.
Nice.
And the Bucks were like a minor league team. Were terrible for 20 years. I want to touch on some of that later, maybe.
Yeah.
I got a funny story for you. But so I feel your pain, sir. And it just like, I'm just like, much respect, dude. Much respect. They're gonna find a way.
They'll get there. It's the Bucks. A lot of Arkansas folks are big Bucks fans because Sir Sidney Moncrief was a Buck.
I've heard that name.
And Bobby Portis, obviously now
the mayor.
Yes. So there's a lot of Bucks fans around here, and so you'll get some Bucks love down here in Central Arkansas for sure.
Yeah, very thankful. They're doing good right now.
Good. They really are. Now, talk to me. I mean, I'm happy since my Celtics got your boy Drew Holiday. Tell me, how are you feeling about that whole? That's not how you saw that playing out.
No.
How are you feeling about things?
Well, Drew Holiday absolutely did. He did so much for Milwaukee. Him and his wife, like their foundation.
Community.
It's crazy. Like it's amazing the things they did for the city of Milwaukee off the court.
Right.
And I mean, he was exactly what we needed. He's probably the reason, like, I mean, Giannis is everything. Chris was incredible in that playoff run, but Drew, man, he did all the little things that, the little hustles, like defense. I mean, you're probably seeing it now this year with Boston.
Oh yeah.
He's a for serious player. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he is.
Like, woo! So
he's really good.
I'm sorry. Did you say for serious?
For serious.
I know I've been out of touch a while. I've never heard that before, and I'm going to credit it to you, HC. That is awesome. I'm bringing that to Texas for serious.
For serious.
For serious, I am.
So I got that from a fifth grader, and I was like, that means for that's like the next level. So
it has to be. They had a whole show. Are you smarter than a fifth grader? They are brilliant.
They really are. Is your kid fifth grade SDA? Your kid's
kindergarten.
All right. You haven't heard for serious? You hadn't heard that? Yeah.
We hear a lot of inappropriate stuff now. He's learning. He's learning all the words and kind of knowing if it's wrong or not. And
that's a good time. That's a good time.
It is hilarious.
It's
getting us in a little bit of trouble sometimes, but
it's funny when they say that stuff out in public and everybody stares at you, and
they shout it too.
Oh yeah, that's the best.
Man, I can't wait to have kids. Y'all are really inspiring me.
Take your time, bro.
Take your time. Little prince and princess can wait a little bit.
We're definitely on a 1 to 10 year plan for sure, depending on who you ask. So
whoa.
Those Top Shot moments are
if we ask
collecting
you,
strategy is going to go down when you start buying diapers.
That's
true.
Hence, I gave the 10-year answer.
You gave the 10-year.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't. I was figuring you for being the hurry up. Let's get a little running around here. A little princess.
Yeah, Top Shot. I really love basketball. I came back from my honeymoon to see the round 1 of basketball.
You sorry dog. Change the subject.
Yeah, and how'd that first game go for the Mavs?
Well, I know we're recording a little ahead here, but if you haven't watched any basketball, the Mavs did great the first game. How resilient we are, how we can give a team a 30-point lead and then come back and bring it to single digits and still lose. It's pretty cool. It's our new strategy. We're lulling them to sleep of confidence. Now that they're confident, we'll just sweep the floor. So it'll be nice.
I want to hear more about how these, what PJ Washington, right? Good pickup. It seemed like there was some gelling going on. What about, I don't know, a month ago, maybe the team and something happened.
Yeah, we're not here to talk about Mavs. This is not Mavs.
No, we got to talk a little bit about Mavs and playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, the team was coming together. Kyrie, Luka. I mean, even some of the big guys. Everything was looking really good. We broke Houston's win streak, putting up multiple big number games. But we sat Luka, we sat Kyrie, and a couple guys for the last couple games, and everyone just looked off first game of the playoffs.
I got you. Yeah.
If you're not playing well, you're not really gelled. I don't think it's game 1 is the time to shake the rust off,
Yeah, right.
But we'll see. It's playoffs, and you know what that means.
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
Everybody overreacts.
Except the Wizards being in the playoffs.
To game 1. Everybody overreacts to game 1.
Yeah.
Speaking of game 1, one team actually did play well. The Bucks, right?
The Bucks,
yeah, they did.
So what's
really good? Yeah,
the Bucks kind of have a chip on their shoulder right now. Everyone was talking about them getting smoked by the Pacers, right? And they came out game 1 and kind of laid it down.
Yeah. I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little nervous. I had a little heightened sense going into a playoff opener, which for the last couple of years, I mean, well, we won't talk about last year, but
oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, who loses to the Heat in the playoffs? Oh wait,
I know they stink. I'm just kidding. No,
can't lose if you're not in them.
I mean, I was like, we got this. Last year, I was like, the Bucks are out.
I was surprised by that one too.
We're going to the finals.
Yeah,
big time.
You got Mr. Hairdo came out of nowhere and started playing basketball. Mr. Jimmy Butler.
Yeah,
so you should have a chip on your shoulder coming back this year.
But yeah, no Giannis, right? That's always worrisome. And then as it turned out, right? Behind me here, that's why we got him. To your point, to your question earlier, Treat. We were ecstatic when we got Dame. That was It used to be, a big deal in the lean years, like the Brandon Jennings years and before. Like if we signed Steven Jackson, a free agent, right, or whoever, like Corey Maggette, some like veteran who is like past his prime. If the Bucks got a free agent like that, we would have been pumped, right? Like we would have been ecstatic. To get a guy like Dame, like that's unheard of. So, and it's had been going on for years now because of Giannis's popularity and whatnot. But yeah, man, it was a great game 1. Man, I just kept telling my wife during the game, I was like, I am so glad we're winning right now.
It's huge to get that first win. I mean, it's not insurmountable, right, KingBrett? And especially keeping it at home. And you guys were what? 1-3 or 4 against the Pacers this year. Yeah,
they ran it good this year. Real quick, I will say, Brett, or is it Mr. KingBrett, or
it's just King?
You're famous. You can call me whatever you want.
Just King,
my lady.
I'm just calling King.
Too funny. I think the Mavs are going to be just fine in this series. I mean, humbly speaking, what do I know? But like this series is long from over, my friend.
I know you sound like one of the smartest people I know. So yeah, touche, and thank you for that. I'm not going to cry myself to sleep tonight. Because you know what? I'm just going to throw this out there, and we can change subject. this year is a Dallas year. It's either going to be the Mavs, it's going to be the Stars, or it's going to be the Rangers again. We're taking home another championship this year in one sport, if not multiple. So anything's possible. Game 2, I'm going to be sitting at the edge of my seat. I'm going to be texting people. I'm either going to be laughing or crying, and it's going to be awesome.
Did you just bring up hockey and baseball like anybody gives a damn?
Yeah. That's for other people out there that we're trying to pick up new subscribers. If
3-ball is going
to spell baseball. Come check us out.
3-ball is going to be all over you. 3-ball told us stay with.
He hasn't talked to me in a month since he didn't come to my wedding.
Audience of 5. We got an audience of 5.
Oh, in that case, let's push the basketball.
So HT, I got to ask, if we rewind a couple months, you guys are in second place in the East, and you fire your coach.
Yeah.
To get the best playoff basketball coach out there, Doc Rivers, to come in.
Arguably.
And he has a worse record. So what happened, and were you guys excited when you got Doc Rivers? Like, what goes through your guys' head? Because obviously you bring Dame in to win a championship.
Yeah, no, great question. There's too much on the line. They must have seen something. So I'll say I've got a small season ticket package, and me and my wife sit up there. It's kind of by the bench. It's pretty cool. And I do get some of the Cream City Collectors tickets, and those are like right off the bench too. And me and my wife at the beginning of the year, huge Griffin fan, totally biased. I'm like rooting for this guy. I'm still going to root for this guy forever.
Yeah.
But I noticed, I go, man, I know I was doing it through rose-colored glasses looking back now. I was like, man, he sure is confrontational with the players, and he's yelling, and Brooks storms off. Giannis, Thanasis had to hold back Giannis one game, and we're going like, whoa. Yeah. And but I was thinking, I'm like, maybe that's what they need. Maybe that's what Giannis wants. Someone in the, to be like a little more emotional. Fiery, sure. Yeah, no, that
like 3-ball as a producer cusses us all the time to bring out the best in us.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought he had a good record. Something must not have been going well. You heard how they brought in Doc to do some consulting. Yeah. So now I always liked Doc Rivers. I thought he's worth the price of admission. If you go to a game, you could just watch him coach, and he's entertaining. He's a demonstrative. He talks to the players, the refs. He's great. But I never thought he'd be the Bucks coach. So now the joke around or whatever, we're like, he's not the coach we wanted, but it might be the coach we need, to get us that experience he has.
Right. He got that first win. But yeah, that's interesting you saying that. I mean, there's such a push, it seems like now, for player coaches. I don't know, back in your day, you didn't have player coaches, right?
What does that mean? He's like 34, dude. That's so weird.
that did not exist. Yeah, you did. There wasn't a thing called a players coach. You just, if you bitched, you sat on the bench. You kept your mouth shut. You didn't
get a new coach if you didn't like him.
No.
I'm just going to say, at the end of the day, who cares who the coach is? If you bring home the championship, you're going to be pumped. And if you don't, it's someone to blame. So it's like kind of a win-win.
Huge pressure on him. Huge
pressure.
I
mean, you've got this is interesting because you got the Mavs have the Bucks old coach that couldn't win, right? Is that right? Didn't Jason Kidd coach the Bucks at some point?
Yeah. That went sideways.
I think that was really bad really quick.
Yeah, and so now you got Doc Rivers, who everybody blamed for losing against the Celtics last year. The Sixers should have won that series.
True.
But the reality is the coaches don't shoot the shots. Or play.
Treat, were you a Boston fan when they won it with Doc?
Yes.
Back then?
Yes.
What did you think of him then?
I don't think he's a bad coach. I don't think is there that much difference, right? The schemes seem all pretty much the same. from what I can tell, there's not a whole lot of, especially when you get into the playoffs. You know the other team's weakness. It's not like Doc Rivers. The other coaches have information he doesn't have. True. I mean, I think I think it's a players' league. The players are the ones who have to make it happen. That's just, I mean, like people blaming Missoula for last year. I'm like, no, I mean, it's not his fault. The players failed to win. So.
Well, and at some point, I feel like it's become where coaches are more of, and this could be just my opinion, but coaches are more now emotion controllers. They're more just controlling everyone, managing everyone's emotions, trying to keep the harmony and putting the right person, in their opinion, in at the right time, the right play, whatever. But other than that, I mean, how many times do you see when you're watching TV, player like yelling at the coach, telling him to go blank off or whatever? It's like you're saying, it's a players league, and the coaches just.
That's a great point. They're managing the personalities, they're managing the culture, and you got, it seems like you got like a Steve Kerr who, I don't know, I guess he does okay with that with crazy Draymond and.
Well, it's also different, in my opinion, because. Growing up, there was one superstar on one team.
Right.
And now I feel like there are two, in some cases three. I mean, Mavs just played a team that had 4 Hall of Famers or 4, not potential Hall of Famers, but past champions. So the league has gotten so much more elevated and experience, and the young talent is so great. It's just it's crazy.
But yesterday I was watching the game. I noticed they said the Bucks are the oldest team in the league. I was surprised by that.
I believe that. Yeah, I mean, this team is kind of all in. Like they signed up, they locked up Brooke, Chris, and then they seem to lately get a couple mid-season vets, hired guns, right? We got Gallinari this year, which is hilarious. Like he's
Wizards legend.
I knew you were waiting for it.
Pat Bev, obviously.
Oh yeah,
who I like.
It's another Arkansas Razorback. Did you know that he played for the Hogs?
I didn't know that. Interesting.
Well, and he's got that thing you need, right? He's going to pester you. He's going to get under the other team's skin.
Yeah.
But it seemed like you guys are. We'll see what happens the rest of the series, but. We're able to kind of keep the Pacers from getting comfortable at all. Like I've seen them play a lot this year, and I don't know, you guys just took their swagger and their, mojo.
Yeah. I wonder with that young team, like if they were like really nervous or something. Cause I swear I looked at Halliburton once and he worked us during the regular season.
Yeah.
And he would talk during those games and, a lot of smack, and I'm all for it, right? First of all, he's right up north from Oshkosh, Wisconsin. I'm near Milwaukee. So root for the kid there, local kid, right? But I was always like, he talks a lot, man. And not so much yesterday. Yeah. And I felt like they missed a lot of shots, right? So it could have went either way, to be honest. Like, so I'm glad at how it went. I will say the D, like, looked like they had a good scheme and they were hustling and working hard on D. Yeah. So.
He definitely didn't. He definitely didn't show up. I felt like he did in the regular season.
Right.
But that's a good. Like Rick Carlisle seems to be a guy that has switched from the Mavs. He was just kind of this hard ass, and now he's kind of being a player's coach, and it's working.
I feel like I read something about that, like how he changed his kind of a little bit of philosophy.
Jim Carrey, is that who you're talking about? Carlisle, yes. Sorry.
What's the atmosphere like in Milwaukee for a playoffs? And I will admit, I grew up in Indiana, in Indianapolis. And so the Midwest cities, they just kind of shut down, it seems like, for when any of your teams are in the playoffs. You're all in. It's not normally melting pots of cities. It's people that have grown up their whole life in that city. And just talk, what's the vibe like in Milwaukee for playoffs?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's honestly, it all begins and ends with Giannis, right? So you get Giannis, you got new ownership, and they did a great job, like They got us a new stadium. They got all this stuff. They did a deer district around, and it's really cool. Like when so there's the deer district before, and it's like, a little area where you can, hang out, and there's bars and stuff. And then but it's all because of Giannis, right? But you can really feel it in the city, just like with the Brewers. If the Milwaukee Brewers baseball is doing good, there's, they Wisconsin fans definitely, they like value, and they also like when a team plays hard. So there's a lot of that. Like if they sniff the playoffs or anything, you're going to get people talking about it and out. And man, I tell you, I've talked to every person I've talked to was at that championship parade in Milwaukee in 2021. That's like awesome. It was awesome. Me and my wife, we weren't going to go. I had, work and stuff and, whatever. Everyone I've talked to, same story. I didn't even say anything. I just left and went to that parade.
That's awesome.
And we had, I think he was like 2 years old at the time. I should probably be able to do the math easier, but something like that. Little guy, we just grabbed him like this. That's and awesome. We saw people, and we were like, where do we go to see the parade? Everyone was out there, every kind of person, every age, young, everything. That's awesome. Just celebrating our Bucks. I saw Budenholzer catch a beer from the
nice.
That was awesome. So it's something that's like bigger than sports, really, right? Kind of like where it just brings everyone together. So it's a small city, a small town, really. And so, you can feel the energy and the vibes are strong at Fiserv and the Deer District there.
That's awesome. And you've got classic Bucks lore, right? You got Oscar Robinson and Lou Alcindor and those years. And then you've got this run, which y'all are always competitive, strong team in the East. So you're talking about the lean years. SDA said, "I'm out.
Well,
I'll never be able to go to a parade in DC, so I'm out."
Big gulps, eh? We'll see you later. And we had two parades recently. The Caps and the Nats won it
again.
That's right.
And so we thought our luck had changed, but
so tell us some of the lean year stories.
I mean, man, they couldn't get anyone in that stadium. So before the Fiserv, there was the Bradley Center, and it's all I ever knew. But I've heard over the years, and I liked it, right? I was like, it's fine. It's all I knew, right?
Right.
And I heard it was built for hockey, like they were trying to lure a NHL team, which I would have liked. That'd have been great. But anyway, so it was kind of like just this like big and cavernous looking back on it. And I love the owner at that time. I did, Senator Cole. He was great for the community. When he sold the team, he gave us $100 million to like build the new stadium. I mean, that's incredible, right?
Ron's going to do that.
But he always wanted to, because I think the budgets were so tight. Like it was always like, he never wanted to do a full rebuild and go to like 15th or whatever for like lottery, get a first pick. He always wanted to, if we make the playoffs and we get a couple full stadiums, we can break even on the year, even if we only get 2 home games, blah, blah, blah. So we always were like, we were literally like a minor league team for so many years. Like it was mom and pop, and you could not give your tickets away. And so, cause I split a long time ago when I was single, I had 4 buddies. We split, some uppers, whatever.
Yeah.
And if you couldn't go to that game on a Tuesday night in January, no one would take them for free at all.
Wow.
I mean, they would do all kinds of deals, beer price specials. You couldn't get anyone in there. And they were like an afterthought. It was like, I don't know, we got some minor league teams in Milwaukee, so it's kind of like
felt that way.
Yeah. It felt like that, yeah. But so that's why this whole run and seeing like having that perspective, it's been I've been just real thankful.
And what are some give other you mentioned earlier in the 80s? Give us did you say 80s Bucks memories?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So I remember watching on broadcast TV, right? Little like rabbit ears. It was a big deal. You got he's like KingBrett's like, what's that?
I grew up with dial-up internet.
There we go.
I had a little 12-inch black and white TV. I got 2 channels.
Gravity.
I got MASH and I got Star Trek.
So it was like that. It was like that, King.
I'm with you. It's probably like watching the Bucks in the 80s.
It was. That's the thing. You would get a game Friday or Saturday night. You would have to make sure you tune in and see it.
Yeah.
And I remember Moses Malone ended his career with the Bucks, and I thought he was the best player in the league, even at that advanced age, which I had no perspective. I didn't know. Like, I was just like, this dude just getting buckets and like
great player,
just getting rebounds, just housing dudes down there. And then, so my first teams I caught on with was he was there. I remember Cindy Moncrief. I remember Paul Pressey, great defender as well.
Paul Pressey, yeah.
Ricky Pierce could get buckets, mid-range.
What about, we had another big center that, man, what was his name? Big white dude.
That narrows it down.
So there was Jack Sikma, you might be
Sigma.
Yeah. Didn't he play in Boston?
Maybe he did. Yeah, that was. I love those unis back then.
Oh, those are all time for sure.
All time. I had a Sir Sid, obviously, Sir Sid poster in my room with him standing next to like a knight.
You still have it?
No, I don't have it anymore.
Oh, that'd have been rad, dude.
No, it's a great poster.
So that, and then the first teams, and then the next year in the early 90s, Jay Humphreys, like no one remembers these players, but he was a good point guard. Dale Ellis spent some years hitting stuff at the end. Danny Shaves.
Something KingBrett doesn't do.
I'm telling you, they were lean years.
I'm looking at SDA like, do you know these people? I mean,
he doesn't know.
I feel like they were probably really good basketball players back in the day.
Yeah, it's definitely a different game then. But yeah, the good players.
What
are you collecting the redemptions, HT?
What happened?
Yeah, I bought some packs. I bought some rares, and then I sprinkled on some of the fandom $20 packs, and I got a bunch of bucks, right? How about you guys?
Did you buy pre the announcement?
I did. Whatever I had in balance, right? Nothing crazy, but yeah, I got some of them. And I agree with like the criticisms and stuff, like 100%. Like, and I didn't understand it. I'm one of these guys that like, I don't need to like understand it. I'll figure out the game when it's playing. You know what I mean? Like, let me hit that challenge submission and I'll figure out if I got the moments kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I figured 150, that seems expensive, but I'm like, if it's the whole playoffs, right? So I don't know what your guys' perspective is, but I got some.
Yeah. I thought when it first came out, it was pretty steep because you might have a team that's knocked out first round, right? Like you could have a sweep, like the Heat, right? For instance, you're going to get probably a Bam moment, and does Jimmy Butler play at all? Like whatever, right? Yeah. So I think especially when you're attracting new collectors, if their first time is the excitement, and I don't know if you saw the latest numbers, I think 900 plus people joined this week. If your first time is buying this $150 pack, right? Like these are new customers. Those are great numbers, right? But if you walk away with a $15 moment after your first pack, it's kind of like us, back in the 2021 timeframe, right? Like, yeah, I mean, if you hit an Oklahoma City Thunder and they go deep, or Boston, but I really like their pivot, and I appreciate them listening to the community. And then maybe they pivoted so much that it's plus EV. But so for the people that bought early or were on Twitter that day, I think it was great. But my impression is like you want people to have fun with this, right? And no internet on that cruise.
Literally, worst mistake. I got back and everyone's like, "Oh, did you do this?" And I'm like, "I don't even know what you're talking about." I promise I would not have internet on the cruise. 7 days, no internet. It was horrible.
Yeah. So I didn't load the DApp, but I did. And I was frustrated when I saw that initial price, but really happy that they changed it, because end of the day, you want people having fun and talking about it in a positive light. And, if somebody loses, $100 a pack or $50 a pack, like that's not a great a great experience. But now I think people are, you can play with this. You can have a lot of fun. People can buy it on the pack marketplace, and you're getting 4 moments potentially. That's pretty awesome. And combine that with fast break. I think it's set up for a great playoffs.
Well, to your point about, you want to get new members and stuff. Like I was talking to some good buddies that basketball fans, and I told them all about Top Shot. I swear, dude, get me started on Top Shot. And, and they were all like, cool. And then so they signed up, they liked it. They got some free packs. So the joining experience was a lot better than I'd seen it in the past. Like a lot of times they're like, you can buy common packs and whatever. So it was cool. And they're like trying to understand it. So then I'm like, okay, there's a drop this week at $69 or whatever. And it's a rare pack. You can get some rares. And they were like, that's expensive, man. So to your point, when you're talking about collectibles and people joining this new, especially the digital stuff like this is all new. It's a steep price. So that's totally fair and true.
So you 900 people joined? I missed this.
On Live Token, I think they do some announcements. So it's exciting to see, and that's what you want to see, going into the playoffs. And
right,
my thought on the year is they did a lot to just stabilize the economy. And so what I didn't want to see was initially things are going really well. People are excited about fast break playoffs. Let's make as much profit as possible, which is cool. I get it. It's a business, right?
Right.
But it kind of went away from a little bit of the theme I thought this year, which was everyone can kind of get a little piece of the pie. But more importantly, everyone's enjoying basketball. The moments are great now, and people can have a lot of fun. And so I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled the narrative now. Like if you saw the streets, we're talking about the games last night. Shout out to, like the Badge County Discord. They're doing a great job. People talking playoffs 24/7 there. Yeah. And the Twitter groups are firing. So, I mean, that's what you want to see as Top Shot kind of augments your fandom, right?
Yeah. It starts with the love of the game for sure. And what about, I know we're rolling through some fast break stuff. That's your specialty. SDA. HT, do you play some fast break? Is that
love it?
Okay.
Yeah, I love it. Got my wife playing.
Nice.
Yeah, she's been doing it too. It was funny because
who's better at it?
Well, so I obviously me, but no, I'm just kidding. So she beat me. I think she started off the last run. I was like 1-4, and she was like 2 or 3, and she won a couple, right? Yeah. And she's so funny. She's like, see, I am better at basketball than you. So it's really fun. Yeah. And then, it's a good game. They added, I love it. Yeah. I haven't done great.
And are you going to do your shows on Friday, SDA, or is that?
Yeah, we're going to try to keep them going. Was out on spring break last week, and then might have a conflict this week, but just trying to get the community together, talk about lineups, and like I said, just trying to have fun with this, right? And get back to that kind of narrative, which I think is what we're all here for, and kind of what inspired, back in the day.
Good times.
When do you do this?
Usually Friday afternoon at 3:30 with Torque. And so we set our lineup. We take some community feedback, some good, some bad. See what we can do. I'm 0-2 right now for this one. I missed it by LeBron, and then last night the assists. I think pretty much everyone got
I lost. I got
the assists got everybody. Glenn seems to be a guy that at least is talking a big fast break game. I don't know what his actual record is.
He's crunching the numbers, that's for sure.
Is he winning?
Oh yeah, Glenn cracks me up. And, yeah.
You know what I love about it? Like I know a lot of people love playing moment ranks. I don't know, HT, if you played moment ranks. A little bit. But I had a tough time with that, like trailing 10-day average, and then if there was a boost or whatnot. And I love the simplicity of this, right? Here's what the players' averages were over the last, over the season. And then here's what the criteria is. Set your lineup. Takes maybe 30 seconds if you want, or you could, like what Glenn's doing, crunch numbers, and really try to balance your roster out over the multiple days, which I think is kind of fun with the playoffs, because not as, if there's a sweep, you can't use your players as much, right?
Right.
So a lot of fun elements there. But it's also feel like it's gravitated towards people collecting the better players, right?
Yeah.
Because you want to use them more often.
So do you think this growth of people's, are they coming in for a fast break? Because that's what's drawing them in, fast breaks? I mean, because it's sharp too. I mean, the design and the way it interacts is nice. What do you think?
I have to think so. I mean,
yeah, it's an interesting one.
Like, I don't know with your HT, with your friends that you were talking about basketball. I mean, you don't need to buy that $69 pack to have fun, right?
You can use
you go to a casino. You don't need to bet on a gambling app on the games. Like, I mean, you can construct a roster for probably $20 to $50 and have a lot of fun with it, right? Or you can go the legendary route. So if you're a basketball fan, I don't know why you wouldn't want to participate.
That's where I like to see how the markets responded to fast break, is that the better players, right, are like Deontay Murray. I pulled a Lego of his out of a pack, and I was like, oh, cool,
Nice. Yeah.
and I'm like, dude, you could use him 5-6 times in a fast break run, all the things he does, for one example. So you start to see their floors go up a little. I mean, ever so, right?
Right.
Yeah, it is. It's a fun game. They did good with that. There's a lot of good things they implemented this year. I love expert challenges. Like, I'm doing the For the Win for the Dame game, Dame time game winner.
Are you really? Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the Luca one. I was very pumped. The video game.
It's rad.
Yeah.
Those are nice. I mean, you definitely are rewarded for hanging in and collecting throughout the season.
But coming in fast break, even though Treat never asked me about fast break, you ask everyone else. I mean, it's like, if you're already here and you're old school and you've been collecting, it's a no-brainer, because you're looking at something to do with your moments. You're looking for utility. The hardest thing about fast break is to set your lineup. Like, that's it. Like, it's really like, anytime I don't win, the majority of the time it's because I was like, oh, I'm going to set it in the morning, and then I get up and I do stuff. Or I set it, and all of a sudden 2 players are out, and I don't change it, or like whatever. But they've already made so many different changes and cool things. I'm a big fan of fast break, man. It's cool. It gives you an opportunity to win stuff using your own collection without just gifting it, saying you own For the Win, or you own video games, or you own Hot Spice or Extra Spice or Uncle and Show. I'm trying to create some new stuff. Hot Spice.
I like
Alpha. That's next year.
Alpha.
Hot Spice moments from the King and Queen's honeymoon.
That's
coming to a Top Shot pack near you.
That's more expensive than the Victor Wembanyama went for, the one that won. So, but if any of you are out there, feel free to reach out. My Top Shot is KingBrett. We're accepting offers. I'm totally fine with that.
I've got some
change our lives forever.
Yeah.
I'm not running for mayor, so I'm okay.
That's true. That's
not
true.
Yet. Not yet.
You never know.
Not yet. Yep.
You never know.
I gotta run, but HT, it was a pleasure to meet you in person. So this was great. Sorry I got to dip early, but
no worries. See you, bro.
I'm gonna try to catch you on the Friday thing. Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. Would love to have you. See ya.
Yeah, it's a good time to wrap up. I know our producer 3Ball gets mad at us for going over time, but great time. Thanks HT for joining us. KingBrett, you're looking good.
Thank you. I was a little frazzled today.
Marriage looks good on you for sure.
Thank you.
Yes.
Anyone out there watching, listening, you can check us out. Some social media, right?
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. Find us at what are we on, KingBrett? We're on X.
We're on. Yes. I'm sorry. I said a bad word. We're on X, not Twitter. We're on X.
We're on Instagram.
We're on Instagram. We're on. I'm pretty sure we're even on Snapchat. Our editor is going really big. The budget's really gotten expanded since we got that yacht for C&C. But dude, yeah, we love it. I'm so pumped I came back in time to be able to sit down and talk some Bucks basketball because they're one of the teams I've really enjoyed watching, especially this last 2 months, this little run and push. It's exciting stuff, man.
Yeah,
I think I'm hopeful all our teams have a nice long playoff run.
Yep.
Of course, until I see until we play the Celtics.
Exactly.
And then in the finals, you can play
the Mavericks.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll accept that. Sure.
I think they got a shot, man.
You got some great players, and it's all about the players and who gets hot and what team can get this, the matchups. You just never know. But yeah, great time, guys. Good luck to your teams in the playoffs. And we'll see you on those Top Shot streets. Thanks, guys.
Peace out. Good times, man.